Hi everyone, welcome back to my Python training. In this video we're going to continue with our program on Pygame, which is a Python library to build games. We're going to do two things in this video. First thing, we're going to convert our ongoing game to use classes instead of functions and modules. And we're also going to add some multimedia to our game, some sound and graphics, extra graphics. So the first thing, let's take a recap of where we are. We have a game with a drone flying across the screen and a boat on the bottom. We have 4 modules in total. We have a load images, which creates the functions, and then we send variables to that function and we load the images on the screen. And then the settings and controls are self-explanatory. They control, certain other aspects of the game. So in the class module, we will have a class for the boat and the drone. We won't need the load images module because it will be done by these two classes. And then we'll still have the settings and the controls. So what will happen is we'll create a class called drone. We'll create an instance of that class in the main module and send that to the drone class to do whatever we want it to do. And this is where classes are separated from functions and modules. You can't create an instance of a module, and you'll see as we go along how that benefits you in the game. You can also look at my video on my Python channel, lesson 16, about classes, which will give you a refresher and show you how to create classes and how to play into it. Classes are a little tricky to explain, and they're not that difficult, but the hard part with classes is understanding where to use them, more so than actually doing that. So first of all, we'll create these two classes and we'll redesign our game to use that. My code is on github.com. I'll put the link here and you can go to GitHub and download or clone a copy of that onto your computer. I also have a video about GitHub, which if you're unsure on how to do that in PyCharm, it's very straightforward. Please look at the video. And then you'll have the code and you can change it, because we don't have enough time to go line by line to all the changes. But this is a key step. We need to do it. We need to use classes and objects in Python to continue with our game. So now here we have the code to add the classes. The key thing to note is that the drone class has all the code that it's needed to load the image on the screen. The self is basically these attributes are attached to the class, so when you create an instance, these attributes are already included. So what you're doing effectively is creating an instance of this class and then sending it to whatever function or whatever you need to do. So we have all the stuff that we've done, the rectangular, the screen rectangular, all of this should be familiar to you. But instead of in a separate function, it's under the self and it's created with each instant. And then we have a function called blitme, which loads the screen and moves it around. This should not be unfamiliar also. It's something we've done in previous classes. So the call is, the boat is very similar. And the column, we go into the main menu, the main settings, and we create 2 instances, one of the drone, one of the boat. And when we're sending it, I have a direction parameter to send to the class, and that's just to make it go left or right or turn. You'll see the logic in that. It's in the game settings module. So we'll call these instances from the main menu, and that gives us more control over our programming, and it's really necessary. We'll take this to a new level in the next lesson too with sprites, but for now this is a big chunk of what you need to know to program in Pygame. And the second thing we're going to do is add some sound and some tacky graphics to our game. So if you go back to the drone module, you'll see here that I have put some sound. So the logic of this is if the drone falls and it misses the boat, it crashes and burns. If it falls and lands on the boat, it's hooray, you've saved the drone. So let's run it and see. So first of all, we'll miss the drone, we'll miss the boat. And it's a little slow on a MacBook Pro for some odd reason, but if you're using a PC or even an iMac, it's fine. So anyway, we crashed and burned that time. Now we're going to run it and try and land it in the boat, see what happens. And it's very simple logic, and the code to line it up is also simple. You just compare the coordinates of each object to ensure that it's lined up. So let's drop it here. I think this is close. and we'll see what happens when the drone is saved from the water. There you go. So in summary, this game here, if you can even call it a game, is a series of steps to learn how to use Pygame, and classes are the next step. So if you want to know about classes, please go to lesson 16, and it gives an introduction and you'll know enough to do this. In the next lesson, we're going to use sprites, which are Python classes that we'll inherit into our class. And that all sounds complicated, but it's really not as bad as it sounds. But sprites are manage the objects on the screen. So if you want more than a drone and a boat, we're going to have to probably go that route. So sound is very easy in Pygame. It comes built in. And finally, my code is on github.com. You can go to it and download it, clone a copy, and play with it, see what works. It's a working copy. Or if you don't want to go to GitHub, you can go to my website at pythonforadultsandkids.com and look at the code there. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed these videos, please don't forget to subscribe and share, and I'll talk to you soon.